All right, at last count, Fox News has the number of czars in the Obama administration at 33, and we'll continue to monitor that throughout the show. These special advisors, as the president calls them, help shape policy, but they don't answer to Congress. Joining us right now to debate that, Scott Wheeler, the co-author of Shadow Government, What Obama Doesn't Want You to Know About His Czars. He says this network of advisors helping the president carrying a radical agenda. And we're also joined by Democratic strategist Jahmu Green. Welcome to both of you. Scott, let's start with you. What do you mean shadow government? We've had czars before. What worries you?
Well, I think the number of czars, first of all, and the fact that these people are out of reach of congressional oversight for the most part. And I might add, too, it's quite instructive to see the Obama administration's flummoxed reaction to the Van Jones scandal. They act as though they don't know why Americans were outraged by this. And the reason is because Van Jones's views are their views. They don't understand what the controversy is. But clearly, they kept Jones off the congressional oversight because this would have been a disaster for them going through a Senate confirmation hearing. Is
that true, Jahmu? You look at a guy like Van Jones and some other czars coming under the microscope, and they would not have passed the scrutiny of the Senate?
Good morning, Brian.
Good morning.
The reality is that it's not unusual for a new president to appoint individuals to head up major initiatives. This isn't new to President Obama's administration, just like it wasn't new to President Bush's administration. I think the American people would prefer to have experts who are absolutely accountable to the president and serve at the will of the president. But they are experts in these fields, and they are working on these issues, and we have serious issues to be working on.
Right.
But
Jahmu, would you also say it's
they prefer these experts to the cronyism that we saw in the Bush administration with Brownie.
But we're not talking about George Bush right now. But we are talking about Jahmu. Let me just finish up. There's so many other positions open right now, but yet czars are being scrambled in. David Gergen, who's hardly a right-wing zealot, says there's about 25 too many czars in the Obama administration. That plays into the shadow government theme, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not sure what your definition of a shadow government is. The definition I learned in school is I think, completely different than what is being spun up by the likes of Scott and people on the right.
Define it. Would you define the shadow government?
Well, it's people operating outside of the purview of public accountability through through Congress. And what's outrageous is for Jahmu. Excuse me, I didn't interrupt you, Jahmu. What is hilarious is her reference to cronyism and qualified people. Ron Bloom isn't qualified to be an auto czar. Ron Stern isn't qualified to be a climate czar. These are unqualified radicals who have been put in this position outside of congressional oversight. And I might also point out that Biden himself harshly objected when Bush wanted to appoint a czar to oversee foreign aid expenditures. And one of the reasons was because he said it put the process further away from congressional oversight. So they knew what they were doing going into this, and they've done this as an intentional maneuver.
Jahmu?
Again, like I said, this is not new to President Obama. I think we need to call this for what it is. Scott, you're playing politics, and I think by going after these experts and attacking people in the way that your organization has, you're really stopping the best and the brightest from considering going into public service. And that's not something that we want, I think the American people want to see our government moving forward with.
Jahmu, do you believe the government was involved in... Jahmu, do you believe... Jahmu, do you believe that white people are poisoning the water in minority communities? And do you believe that President Bush knew about 9/11 before it happened? Those are the views of Van Jones.
Well, first of all, that's a ludicrous question, and I actually am offended that you would ask it.
Is it true? We need another show for that, but that is what Van Jones has been caught saying.
Everyone makes mistakes.
That seems a very deliberate one. Scott Wheeler and Jahmu Green, thanks for the debate. Heated and just getting started, as is our show. Straight ahead.